be given out from this recording today as well. So, Charles, I'll let you take over. It's all yours, Charles.
All right. PayPal recently started to release funds. I was so excited. And I wanted to really surprise everybody with an early release because it was a surprise to me. But before releasing it to everybody, I wanted to make sure that I was able to place all of the funds into Payza. So I needed to get to the United States to make the transfer from my bank to Payza. And again, I just really wanted to surprise everybody with this early release after the money had started to be released. I wanted just to make sure that it got moved over to Payza. Now, these fake checks had been circulating around. Apparently, some people had gathered the information from the bank wire information, the routing number and the account number, and they had created fake checks that people were going to banks with and presenting to the banks and cashing. So with this going on, my bank had been telling me that what they need to do is close down that bank account and open up a new account. And so what I respond back to them is what I'll do then is I'll move those funds out of that bank account into my personal bank account until I get back to the US. And when I get to the US, then I was going to move those funds into Payza anyway. So that's really what it was that I was working on behind the scenes, is moving those funds from the business account to my personal account until I could get to the US, go into the Chase branch, and then get those funds moved into Payza so I could surprise members with that early release. What's now happened, as we've now learned today, is the SEC has filed a lawsuit. Definitely, I'm going to be standing up against their claims in court of law. Whatever's going on, we're going to get to the bottom of it. And one of the things I just want to make sure everyone knows is just like what happened when PayPal froze funds inside of PayPal, there's more money in existence to pay everybody than what people have earned. So I don't know why they can believe that there's a Ponzi going on here, because there's no investors, only people buying ad service, and there's been no promise of returns, as I've said many, many times. And the website and my videos don't say anything of the sort. So I've never guaranteed 10% returns, only that there's no ad service, and that when people click through the traffic exchange, they can qualify to share in revenues up to a maximum of $55 on each of their sharing positions that they have, without any time frame affixed whatsoever. So as they've mentioned in their article on the Salt Lake Tribune, that it's within 2 months, there's never been any time frame affixed. And if that amount never reaches that amount, that's just how it is, because we only share real revenues. So like what I was saying, people have been circulating these fake checks using my bank account information and routing number information provided that's online. I moved those funds out from the business account to a personal account to avoid those checks from clearing. And I was just about to go to the US, actually. We tried to fly on Sunday, actually, but we weren't able to book the tickets. And finally, we were able to book the tickets just the other night. Our flight was scheduled to fly out today to get into the bank tomorrow and move those funds into Payza and release those packs. And now this has happened. So it's definitely something that we're facing. The United States, the people that I wanted to get connected with, they're not awake. But we definitely have some individuals that have connections and who know attorneys, that we're going to be relying upon good attorneys that have experience in this field with dealing with the SEC and establishing that we are not actually a Ponzi, even though they want to say that we are. So we're going to stand up against this. And I think that somebody on Facebook earlier today said it very well. They said, things are a blessing in disguise. Is that since the SEC has now openly accused Traffic Monsoon of being a Ponzi, we can now once and for all definitively prove in a court of law the Traffic Monsoon is not a Ponzi whatsoever. So we're going to stand up to their claims. We're going to stand up and fight this, and we're going to aim to win. And I believe that we can. So we're going to get on top of this with the right attorneys that we can find and take this on as strongly as we possibly can. And the most important thing to really focus on here is that I've definitely been sharing the profit margins. I've got the profit margins. I've informed the SEC of them as well. You can see that there is a true profit margin created. It's only from the profit margins that I've ever actually shared any revenue at all. So There's no investment offered on Traffic Monsoon, as it clearly states, no promise of returns, only promise of an ad service that people have paid for, with the explanation that people can click through the ads and qualify to share the revenues, which couldn't possibly be guaranteed. So we're going to stay ahead of this. We're going to keep you informed of whatever happens. But as far as right now, I just woke up to learning this news myself. I'm going to be doing everything that I can as soon as attorneys and everybody in the United States wake up and try to get things lined up so that we can handle this and beat this, and then make sure that everyone gets paid what they're owed. That's for sure.
Okay. If anybody's got any questions,
Excellent, Charles.
time, please.
Charles.
Yeah.
Dilip, it's better to unmute one by one, please.
Yeah. Right, Anita, you've been unmuted, okay?
Okay.
So if you want to ask any questions to Charles, you can.
I don't have any right now, but I know that Sharon's got one because I'm looking at her right now. So I haven't got any ones right now, and I know the ones I want to know Sharon will know. So I'll pass it over to Sharon.
Sharon, you've been unmuted.
Hiya guys, you okay?
Hi, Sharon.
Hiya Charles.
Hi, Sharon.
Listen Charles, you know what I say, bring it on. Bring it on Charles. You know what? It was inevitable it was going to happen. It was only a matter of time. And, you know, at the end of the day, when you're confident, when you've got a company that runs the way Traffic Monsoon does, we have nothing to worry about. At the end of the day, it's a lot of inconvenience, and I know we've been through the mill, but this is our last mile now, Charles.
That's right.
You know, our last mile, and we've just got to stay strong. I mean, I have had hundreds of messages from people. I haven't replied to anybody yet, because I'm out and about anyway. But, you know, so I missed the first start of the call, Charles, and I caught from when you were going to America. Are you still going ahead to America today?
First, what I wanted to do is get a hold of some attorneys, and since this is going on right now, I felt that was more important than flying back.
Yes.
The whole reason to fly back was to move the funds to the pay and since I can't do that anyway,
No.
I wanted to get a hold of attorneys and find out what I need to do and move forward and what the best next step would be for me to take.
Okay, so they basically have froze everything, Charles, is that right?
That is correct. As of right now, it is, yes. I think it was
So-
about 6 o'clock or something this morning.
Okay, so obviously that I'm going to have to put out to my group and things like that, Charles. So, you know, we would suggest that we just tell we are being investigated and lawyers are dealing with it. Is that correct?
Absolutely. We're being investigated. They've gathered too many, and with that information, they're making an accusation. So now all we need to do is stand up against that accusation and prove them wrong. And we're going to get the right attorneys on board that have the experience with SEC and securities laws and all of that, and make sure that we face this with facts showing that absolutely not a Ponzi.
Right. So the website itself, Charles, is working as normal apart from the withdrawals, correct?
As far as other than
Check it on the
withdrawals,
computer.
that's correct.
Okay.
Now, PESA and Solid Trust Pay are still working as far as I'm aware, but as far as withdrawals, we've turned those off because I haven't been able to move money from the bank into PESA to handle people's withdrawals. So as people have been sending a lot of bank orders, the revenue
Should
that's
come through.
has been coming in
I've got your feed.
bank wire transfers anyway. So that's why withdrawals are turned off right now, is because the bank funds are right now on hold. So I'm not able to move or touch those funds that are inside of the bank until all of this gets resolved. And I really believe that we have everything that it takes to do that. We just need to make sure we get the right attorneys, the right arguments, and a good judge that can really see the facts that we're not offering an investment. We've only offered advertising service, and people who have clicked through the traffic exchange have only shared in revenues that are within the profit margin of delivering these services.
Okay. Okay, Charles. Well, you know what, Charles? We're with you all the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, we're with you all the way. I believe that you can do this, you know, definitely. Just bring on the top lawyers, Charles, and just go for it. And let's get this put away for once and for all.
Thank you very much for your support. Absolutely. Thank you.
No problem.
Right. If anybody else has
Thank
got
you,
any
Dilip.
questions, can you please just send me a quick message and I'll unmute you, okay? If anybody's got any questions. Right. James, you want to go ahead?
Hi, buddy. I'll just keep it. Am I okay to talk?
Yeah, you're okay to ask the question, James.
Okay. No, just a quick one. Obviously, I don't want to talk about stuff we already know. But Charles, are you going to look to sue their asses for compensation, or is that not possible?
I'm sorry, James. I couldn't hear your question.
I was just going to say, are you going to look to maybe sue them for compensation?
Oh, I haven't even explored that route, but I'll definitely be talking with attorneys what the best route to go would be, and how to handle this moving forward. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I feel sorry for you, mate, but we're all behind you anyway. So.
Thank you very much, James.
Right, Amy, you've been unmuted. Do you want to ask a question? I understand you want to ask a question as well.
No, there's no question, sir. I just, with myself, I'm very concerned about what's happened. Obviously, it's not Charles's fault, it's not your fault, it's not our fault. I just see that for some reason somebody behind the scene wants TM shut down, and this is crazy. It really is. And we're all with you as a team, Charles. We all trust you. We know what you've done for us and the company, and we're all with you 100%. Anything we can do as a team, we're all behind you. Like absolutely.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, Fraser, I understand you want to ask a question, so do you want to go ahead and ask your question?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
These people might need to be muted because the screen keeps flashing back and it's causing whoever's asking questions not to be seen or heard very well.
Can you hear me, Charles?
I can hear you, yes.
Okay, great. My question is this, that I read through the lawsuit and whatnot, and it said that you're taking some money out already, 20 million plus. The rest of the money that's in PayPal that you could withdraw, from my understanding, can you not withdraw that into another bank account and use that to pay some of the members? Is that possible or not?
Well, if the SEC has moved to freeze assets at this point or place hold on them while we sort this out in court, I'm assuming that would also affect what PayPal's holding on to as well.
Okay. And second question is, how long do you have a time frame or how long do you think this will take to sort out?
I haven't spoken to any attorneys yet, so I really don't know. I have no answers for you on what is going to go forward from here. I'm just waking up to this myself, just like all the rest of you. So I need to sort through this, and I need to get good legal advisors on board to help me sort through this. And until then, I won't really have answers on time frames or anything like that.
Okay. The third thing is that is it possible we can have a regular Zoom meeting maybe every few days, or every 3 or 4 days, so we know what's going on? Is that possible?
It should be. I'm going to be making sure to update everybody as things move forward, and definitely working with my attorney to know what news to release and what not. Because definitely when it comes to things dealing with a legal matter, you definitely want to make sure that you're following whatever your attorney says that you should be doing. So I'll be moving forward with the attorney. I've been always honest and upfront with the SEC, so I provided them all the information. They've just come to what I believe is the wrong conclusion. Making an accusation that we're a Ponzi scheme is absolutely false, I believe, because we're not offering any kind of investment We're only offering advertising service, and yes, we are showing revenues from new service purchases, but that's not the same as the Ponzi whatsoever.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
No, inshallah, everything's going to be fine. Wherever it is, it's what it is, isn't it? You can't stop fate, so there's nothing to worry about.
That's right, can't stop fate. There's a plan for everything, that's for sure.
100%. So don't worry. Alhamdulillah, everything will be fine.
Thank you.
Right, I think, Charles, one question was wanted to ask from Sunil, so I'm going to put Sunil on, and I think he wanted to ask a quick question as well.
Hi, Charles. Hi, Charles.
Sunil, you're on now.
Hi. Yeah, for me and many people around the world, who are the SCC and what is their role? Because being from England, I don't really know who SCC is. If you can explain.
The SEC is the Securities Exchange Commission within the United States, which basically they investigate investments and potential unregistered investment opportunities. And so basically what I was trying to show them is that this is not an investment whatsoever. And so they've come to a different conclusion. But that's where we just have to stand up to this in the court of law and say they think this is an investment, but it's actually not. And we make sure that we're very clear in making sure that people know that when they're buying a service from Traffic Monsoon, that they see it as a service, not as any form of investment of any kind. Because we know that, especially within our industry, people mention that word invest a lot of times incorrectly. So we want to make sure that we communicate that, yes, we know that people use that word wrong, and we wanted to make sure to stand out right there from the very beginning that this is not an investment. That anyone who's buying anything from Traffic Monsoon, they're only purchasing an advertising service. They cannot expect any kind of returns, and any revenues are going to come from the profit margins that we actually really have. So we've been very careful in making sure that we are providing correct expectations for our customers in Traffic Monsoon. Although there's definitely been people out there who have presented Traffic Monsoon in the incorrect way, I have never presented Traffic Monsoon in an incorrect way. So that's the thing that I just am going to try to do my best with the lawyers to present exactly what's on the website, what the videos are, and how Traffic Monsoon really works to help outline that the Securities Exchange Commission, who regulate investments, that they can recognize that this isn't an investment. It's absolutely not. They are saying that it is, but it's not, and it never has been, and never will be.
Right. Yeah, because we're going to get through this, and failure is not an option. We're going to get through. And just a request, if there's any way, I think the first thing is trying to get people to be able to withdraw. Because, you know, we built up second businesses. I personally got a lot of money, about $40,000, which I've earned really hard in the second business that I built. And it's not like, I mean, we're going to get through this, but I think the withdrawals, whenever you can get them going, get them going. But I know we'll get through this because failure is not an option, and we're all behind you anyway. We're all behind you.
I agree with you. Withdrawals are #1 priority.
Okay, that's it. That's it. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Charles. Thank you.
Right. Okay. On that note, has anybody else got any other questions? No?
Yes, I do have a question. I have a question.
Okay. Is that Imtiaz?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Imtiaz, do you want to go ahead and ask your question?
Yeah. Well, basically, on behalf of my downline, and we were looking forward to the 9th of August. Now, we know lawsuits can be very drooling. They can be long. What are we doing, Charles, to kind of to know that we've really been oppressed here, and that they've got the wrong end of the tail, and that we want to, you know, can this federal law company, can they reverse the decision as soon as possible, and in your favor? It's solely because they've got the wrong information. I mean, when you go on to the Traffic Monsoon site, it clearly says that this is not an investment. So could you just shed some light on that, please?
Well, as I've explained before, is moving forward from this, I need to speak with some attorneys to be able to know what to do moving forward. But as far as right now, there's not really any more answers I can really provide as far as what's going to happen next. Because I really don't know. This has never happened to me before. Just like you said, it clearly states on the website it's not an investment. So that's where we need to, in a court of law, turn around that decision and get those funds released and get everybody paid.
So just a last question. As far as this lawsuit is concerned, have you made them aware that look, our members were going to be paid on the 9th of August, and this is really halting our business a second time? Have they been made aware of this as well?
Oh, absolutely, they're aware of that. Absolutely.
Thank you very much. I'm sure you will get through this, and if you could have an update, on a whatever weekly basis, that'd be great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. Okay, we're going to take this as the last question from a big shark. So if you just bear with me one moment while I unmute you. So you're going to be the last question, and then we're going to call this an end, okay? Right, Abid, do you want to ask your question, please?
Yeah, thank you, Dilip. Charles, I've got a couple of quick questions. One is, as the funds are frozen, what about those people that want to still purchase ad packs? Is the system still functioning, or is everything at a standstill at the moment?
As far as I'm aware, people can still buy the services on Traffic Monsoon through Payza and Solid Trust Pay, but bank wires will no longer be an option at this point until all of this gets resolved through the lawsuit.
All right, okay. So any wire transfers, because I'm aware of someone that has made a wire transfer on Monday. So would that be returned back to his bank?
If they made that wire transfer on Monday, it should have already arrived, and it should have already been applied unless they didn't include identifying information towards their wires. What I recommend that they do, if it hasn't been applied to their account, is have them get a hold of support. We can go ahead and get those purchases for the services applied to their account right away, because we definitely want to make sure that we're providing those services.
All right, okay. And just say, for example, they want the money that they wired on Monday and they want that returned. Would you be able to do that?
As far as right now, like I've explained, the funds that are inside of the bank are right now on hold. So there's nothing that I can do with them until, if this comes out in our favor, then I'll be able to do things like move those funds into Payza and pay people.
Okay, brilliant. No worries. Thank you, Charles.
You're welcome. Thank you. Dilip, you're on mute, just so you know. Dilip, you're on mute, just so you know.
Sorry, sorry about that, Charles. Suna's just got to ask one quick question, and I'm going to make this one the last question for you. All right, Charles?
All right, sure. All right, go ahead then.
Can we share this video?
Suna, do you want to ask your question?
Right. My question. It's not a question. I spoke to Firoz about 2 nights ago, and he said to me, because I want the whole world to know, he said, me and Charles are working on something amazing and exciting for you guys. Firoz told me 2 days ago on the phone, and obviously this was the movement of the money from Traffic Monsoon to Payza so we can get paid. Right, so I don't want these rumors to go around that Charles was taking money and putting it aside, because I spoke to Firoz on the phone 2 days ago. He said, me and Charles are working on something to surprise all of you guys. Yeah. And he said it with so much passion that I thought, what the hell is going on? Something's going on here. And Firoz said to me on the phone, we're working on something, Sunil, and it's gonna surprise all of you. So this was obviously what Charles is saying. Because I don't want the rumors going around that Charles is siphoning money out.
Right, because I haven't been doing that whatsoever.
Exactly, and I'm going to collaborate. Firoz told me and Charles are working on something, and that was 2 nights ago.
Absolutely,
Okay.
perfect. Thank you very much, Sunil, for
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know that Charles is here with us all the way. He ain't going anywhere.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. And on that note, thank you very much, everybody. And I just want to ask Charles, any last words from you on the way forward? What would your last words would be for all the members? What do you think they should continue doing?
What I would definitely recommend or ask is anyone who's been advertising on Traffic Monsoon, any kind of campaigns that you've been running that you've been generating good results with, or any results whatsoever, it'd be good to publish those all over across the internet. Because right now, what the SEC is probably looking at is people are mostly talking about their earnings from the business, not so much about the advertising results that they've been getting on their campaigns. I do know personally that I'm generating results on my campaigns on Traffic Monsoon. There's a reason we're ranked #1 in the industry for traffic exchanges. Let's make sure that that kind of message goes out there as well, saying that, you guys have been advertising on Traffic Monsoon. Let's talk about the signups. Let's talk about the commissions that you've been earning in other businesses that you've been promoting on Traffic Monsoon. Let's get that message out there so that when we can collect that information, maybe in the future, my attorney, I'll probably be asking people to help provide that, because if we take this, and since we are having to go to court with this, that's some good evidence to really come back and say this isn't a Ponzi. This isn't just a deception. We really are selling real advertising services, and people really are getting results on their campaigns. That's why they really want to buy more of the services. And yes, we are sharing revenues, but we're not just a front to some kind of Ponzi scheme.
Okay.
Thank you very much for everybody's continued support and always being there and helping build up the business and building me up in times when I've felt down. So thank you for being there and expressing all of your well wishes and all of your continued support. So just thank you very, very much.
No problem, Charles. And like I said, this is on behalf of all the members here. We are with you 100%. We're not going with whatever the circumstances. We're going to be here all the time. All right.
All right. Thank you very much, Dinah.
Okay, guys. Well, thank you very much. And we're not going to take anybody else's time now. So thanks very much for attending this Zoom call today. And obviously, Charles will keep us posted with what the outcome of everything is going on. So just look out for the updates. And thank you very much. And have a great day, great day, guys.
Thank you very much.